Welcome, friends. Immortal compression breath, okay? One of my favorite techniques of all of yoga because it does stand true to its name, the immortal breath. Now, they call this different names. They call it compression breath. That's what I've come to call it. So anytime I say compression breath, it's really just the immortal breath. This is a very powerful technique, as with all my videos, but I really have to emphasize with this, check with your doctor, practice at your own risk, and if you have really high blood pressure, take it easy, if at all, on this one, okay? Basically all it is you take a really deep breath and hold, and then you're gonna do a perineum contraction, which is tighten your whole buttocks until you can learn to isolate your perineum, and then you tuck in your neck, okay? And you press down with your diaphragm. It's similar to Kundalini Yoga. They call Mahabandha, great lock. A lot of Kundalini yogis, they do the same thing I just mentioned, perineum contraction, tuck in the neck, but they'll also pull in the navel. You're definitely going to overheat if you do that, okay? And even some of the Kundalini Sikhs and stuff I've trained with would even say that. Be careful pulling the navel in when your breath is held. It's safer, especially through time, to practice just perineum lock, chin tucked in, so you're kind of sealing the energy in above and below, and then you press down on your diaphragm, with your diaphragm, and compress the chi in, but you don't pull it in. It's a subtlety, but with big implications. So basically you just take a deep breath and press down with your diaphragm and hold the chi in your body, okay? So I'll go ahead and just take you through the technique and afterwards give you a couple of other little, very brief contextual sound bites, but let's just go ahead and practice, okay? So exhale all your air through your mouth. Feel nice and grounded, center of the earth, and breathe from the center of the earth to the center of gravity. Big deep breath and hold. Tighten your perineum, press down with your diaphragm and your neck tucked in, and condense all the chi into your center of gravity. Kind of into a little pearl. Condense, condense, condense. Then when you're ready to exhale, relax your locks. Neck lock, perineum, diaphragmatic pressure, whole body relaxed, and just exhale. Sometimes live and exhale a sigh, like a ha, like the heart sound, release any excess heat. You do not want to feel any heat or pressure in your heart with this. If you are, don't contract as hard. Just do it very gently, okay? So let's try that again. Another thing, a lot of masters will teach this with this mudra, thumbs inside your hands, your fingers. You can also do basic Taoist closed circuit mudra, helps condense the energy. We'll do it this way for now. Center of the earth, center of the pearl, in your center of gravity, big deep breath and hold. Tighten your perineum, tuck in your neck, press down with your diaphragm and condense all the chi into a pearl in your center of gravity. Relax your neck lock, perineum power, diaphragmatic pressure. Exhale a sigh. And as you're holding your breath, if you start to get lightheaded or you feel you're going to pass out, just exhale immediately. And if you really feel you're going to pass out, bring your head down. I like to do this standing, but you got to master it first sitting, because if you're standing, it's easier to go out. Now, the third time I'm going to take you through the full immortal breath that Dr. Stephen Chang outlines in his book. He has a lot of books. What's the one that he did this in? I think it was either his one on sexual energy or just his basic cultivation. I can't remember all the names of his books, but it's in his series of books, this particular version of this. But basically all you do is you inhale energy into a pearl in your center of gravity. Same thing that we just did, perineum power, tuck in your neck, downward diaphragmatic pressure. And then you drop the pearl down to your perineum, basically, and you're going to spiral it through your 7 endocrine glands, your gonads, your adrenals, your pancreas, your thymus, your thyroid, your pituitary, your pineal, all as you're holding your breath. That's the full immortal breath that he teaches, and there's even different cycles of that. This is not exclusive to many masters teach this. It's just his is very well articulated, so you can look at his book if you want to see that, but I'll just take you through it briefly. Feel in your center of gravity a pearl of energy, smile into it, drop your eyes, your mind, all of your thoughts, all of your feelings, the totality of your awareness into the radiant nucleus of the pearl, all the energy we've already accumulated through 2 compression breaths, immortal compression breaths. And when you feel your center of gravity, from the center of the earth to the center of your pearl, big deep breath and hold. With this mudra, tighten your perineum, tuck in your neck, downward diaphragmatic pressure, pearl drops down, spiral it around your gonads, up to your adrenals, up to your pancreas, all as you're holding your breath, pearl spiraling up to your thymus, behind your sternum, your thyroid and the throat, your pituitary, and your pineal in your brain, and then exhale and relax. And a lot of times as I exhale and relax, I'll just let the pearls circulate through the whole orbit. Just a moment ago when I went like that, I was going to say, it's hard to think so clearly when you're holding your breath. Gonads, obviously for men, testicles for women, the ovaries, okay? So you just spiral around the 7 glands. A lot of times also as I'm learning this, I'll do what I call the lower immortal breath, just deep breath and hold, same thing, perineum power, tuck in your neck, downward diaphragmatic pressure, and spiral just around the lower 3, gonads, adrenals, pancreas. And then just exhale and just let it spin, let it spin, let it spin, okay? So, but the essence of what I want to show you here, it takes a lot of power, mental power and chi power to move pearls around. I recommend you practice fusion of the 5 elements practice as outlined by Taoist Master Montauk Chia and his Universal Healing Tao system. I'm certified to teach that meditation, fusion of the 5 elements. There's great books on it. Other Healing Tao masters, senior instructors teach it as well. But that'll really help you create this idea of creating a pearl. I know it's just throwing it right at you, spin a pearl, but you just keep, a pearl is the perfect shape. Everything in the known universe is a pearl. From the smallest subatomic particles to the largest planets and stars and everything in between, it's all pearls and they're all spinning. So Qigong, language of energy, it's all like a pearl that's spinning. So it has huge implications. Even we ourselves came out of original pearl behind our navel, whole body spiraled out from there, and that's why all these immortal practices, you're returning to that original energy to go back through that portal to your original energy. So don't underestimate this pearl business. But it does take a while to really feel it. So even just breathing into the pearl, effortless breathing, do that for a while. Just long belly breaths, belly expands as you inhale, flattens as you exhale, or any breathing pattern you like. Key point, breathing into the pearl. And then on the last one, take a big deep breath and a hold, a nice concentrated mudra, and then just hold it and just let it spin in your center of gravity with perineum power neck lock and downward diaphragmatic pressure, or spin it through your lower 3 glands or your 7 endocrine glands. A lot of times I'll even do that through my 6 organs, or 5 main organs. Kidneys, liver, heart, spleen, lungs. You can try that. That's getting really advanced, and I would recommend definitely be a master of fusion if you try that. But that's basically all what I just said. Just deep breath into the pearl, and then just spiral it around kidneys, liver, heart, spleen, lungs. Kidneys, liver, heart, spleen, lungs. Kidneys, liver, heart, spleen, lung. I can usually do 3 revolutions per breath, retention, and then exhale and just let it spin. The last thing I want to mention is, in the Tibetan system of yoga, I learned a very similar technique as this. They call it the Vase Breath, okay? And they told me when I learned that one of those breaths, and they didn't even get into all the visualization I just laid on you, just simple, breathe into your center, perineum, and I don't even think they mentioned perineum power. They just said downward diaphragmatic pressure. But when you do the double lock with it, perineum power, tucking in your neck, it's like you're sealing that core channel tube from the top and the bottom. All the energy gets locked in there, and then the downward diaphragmatic pressure really concentrates it into the pearl. One vase breath, even without the double lock of perineum and neck, just with the downward diaphragmatic pressure, would put an extra week on your lifespan. They would teach it to people in Tibet when they were on their deathbed and their relatives were coming from afar to see them. They would make them do vase breaths until their relatives got there, and then read the 7 book, the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and let them check out in their whole very vast advanced system of death and dying that they have in Tibet. So anyway, there's plenty of context for you. The essence of this, though, is simple as deep belly breath and hold, tighten your perineum, tuck in your neck, press down with your diaphragm, and condense the chi into the pearl. And if you want to start playing with spinning it through your 7 endocrine glands, the biochemical parts of your 7 chakras, or your organs, your 5 main organs, just be really, really mindful of overheating. If you start to pass out, exhale completely. And I do recommend you master the 6 healing sounds. This is a very fiery technique, so I usually do the 6 healing sounds. You can see my video, 6 healing sounds, to disperse any tension you might accumulate. You don't want to feel any tension in your chest. And when you're learning this, I wouldn't do more than 3 breaths for a while. Then you build up your chi power and capacity, then 6, 9, so forth, okay? But do some 6 healing sounds to disperse, especially the ha sound, the heart sound. Release that heat. If you feel any chi, tightness in your chest, take a break for a while. Don't do this for a few days. And I do recommend, promise last detail, if you are going to begin this practice, which I do every day, begin on the new moon. Ideally on the new moon itself, but anywhere between the new and full moon, because this isn't kidding. Immortal breath. These are the secrets of the immortals. So this is not just pansy yoga. This is the real inner alchemical power, the breathing and the compression and all this stuff you get in most yoga classes. So I offer you these details with humility and with great love and appreciation for you that you're tuning in. Practice well and be well, my friends.